All right, let's bring in Lacy Cooper because the New Mexico law does go into effect. She's a former Border Security Section Chief and running for Arizona Attorney General. Lacy, so policies, the illegals are reacting to our policies. No surprise.
No surprise at all, Brian. The cartels know exactly what is going on with our laws and our policies, and they react to it. They send migrants through the ports or the parts of the border that are susceptible, and they know that the Remain in Mexico program was reinstated in El Paso, so they're sending migrants to places like Yuma sector, and we're seeing floods of migrants coming through Yuma sector right now.
It's such an embarrassment to see a split rail fence there stopping or not stopping people from invading the country. So let's look at the encounters year to year. In 2020, there were 787 who came across in October. In 2021, 21,623. I'm not that good in math, but that's a huge increase. According to our mathematicians, 2,647% increase. What can you do about it?
Right, and I would just add that that's almost as many coming per day now as came per month back in October before the election. So what can be done? Well, the Biden-Harris administration needs to enforce the laws that are on the books right now. That includes the migrant protection protocols, and they need to get that rolled out across the border ASAP. We can't continue to have Yuma sector flooded with migrants because El Paso is the only sector that has the MPP program.
Yeah.
But I have some other suggestions for Congress on laws that they can make that would change the humanitarian crisis at the border almost instantaneously. One is to compel migrants who are coming to seek asylum to actually use our front door. That's called a port of entry. Instead of coming over the fence or through the river and dying in the desert, we need to encourage folks, or require them actually, to use the front door. And the second thing we need to do is to require people who are coming from farther afield than Mexico to apply for refugee status in their home country or in a safe third country. And I use the Haitian migrants who sheltered under the Del Rio Bridge, you remember those, as an example. They had been living in Brazil and other countries in South America for years, and yet they gave up their safe home and traveled to the United States, making a dangerous trek here, some dying along the way, many abused, so that they can come into the United States and under the catch and release policy, the open borders policy. That is not a good policy. We have to put an end to it. The Biden-Harris administration's policy are actually creating the humanitarian crisis at our southern border.
And they don't seem to care. They don't push back. They don't entertain it. They're never asked about it, and you have to live with it. Real quick, how much is this an issue in Arizona? We hear about Texas, the outrage, the personal expense, how they've really had to put their own forces on the border and their own resources. I don't hear much about Arizona. How big a deal is it?
Oh, it's absolutely a huge deal here in Arizona as well. The governor has deployed the National Guard to help, especially with what's going on in Yuma sector. Right. Just think about the resources that the Yuma sector Border Patrol agents have to spend on feeding people, giving them showers, helping them to get new clothes, instead of spending their time apprehending bad criminals coming across the border.
Money that could be in our pockets, helping people in need in America. Lacy Cooper, thanks so much. Best of luck in your AG run.